Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in today's Pimp My Plot video. Today we're working for a guy called Hockey, who's a Discord member who basically said, I'm having troubles and I have no idea what I'm doing, please help me. So I did. Well, I am doing it now. And it's a little bit messy. Now, even for me, I'm losing frames. And I don't lose frames unless it's really hitting me hard. Okay, so the first thing I'm taking note of is the fact there is so many things everywhere. Like, gems, literally everywhere. Oh my, oh my god, is all I have to say. So, I can sort of see why it's happening. And the main reason why it's happening is because the conveyor belts are too low down. So the conveyor belts here are like, the gems are literally bouncing off each other and splitting up, and then you're going to have problems in the grooves, and then you're going to, oh my god, right, okay, that's fine. So that's actually not too, it may look terrible, but it's actually quite an easy fix. So what's happening here is that this needs to be up one more level, so they're firing straight onto the conveyor belt. We can get rid of this vertical as well, and we should be okay. That's not terrible. And then what we can do is we can actually bring this down a level, and we can have all of this working quite well. Actually, no, I don't mind it too high like this. My problem is this. What is happening here that's causing this problem? Let me just get on top. I need to see on top of the belt. Just okay, so right. Okay, so this is unfortunately classic what happens in this game, unfortunately, sometimes. Oh, cool, he's got a house. Way party. And I can see what you're doing here. I can genuinely see that you're trying to have a real condensed build. I like the premise and I like the idea, I really do. But unfortunately, certain things are, well, I mean, they're not great, are they? Pan! There we go. Pan. Now we need a cork. You're not using corks. First things first, there's lots of stuff laying around the floor. Destroy everything and start again. Your piping is I'm not sure if people try to torch me by doing this, right? So you have to have 5 filters on a line. You have to have 4 chambers on a line if you want full automated power. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove every single bit of your profit. Delete everything. I hate to do this to people's builds, but a lot of this has to be removed. Okay, here we go. I'm going to keep the harvesters down there where they are, but all this, we need to start again here. Now, when it comes to your first load of piping, personally, this is a big build for like the first lot. I wouldn't have even been here to build this. I'd have been doing this on a bigger lot personally, but you know, I can understand where some people don't want to move. You know, the game's massive anyway, but if you just want a small lot that's going to work, it's going to be good, then there's no point in moving. There really isn't. We need to find ourselves a intake pipe. And we need to power all of this with one pipe. Now, sometimes the line just isn't big enough. I'm going to bring it over here a bit, so we've got a bit of room to play with. Okay? What I then need a valve. Stops the water. It's all good. Next, we need 5 filters. Now, you need 5 filters because if you don't know the answer to this question by now, then you need to learn. But basically, you need 5 filters to clean the water. The reason why I don't build massive builds over on this lot, and it is one of the reasons, there isn't enough room to do everything. And if you have all of this stuff laying around, then it just gets a little bit busy, doesn't it? You know? Okay. So because our pressure gauges are there, we need a T-pipe. The reason why we're going to put it right there is because we need that pipe to come off and run through these as well. So that T-pipe is going to run there. That T-pipe is going to run there. And that one is going to run there. We need a corner pipe. There we go. Corner. And we're done. We don't need to do anything else to the side. We've fallen down. Right. Next on the agenda. Why are there gems here? Wow. Okay. I mean, you don't need these, really. If I just click on all these and get rid of them, don't worry. You'll have them back. at some point when you've made some more. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to force the top end to be almost in a loop. So what I would normally do is I would normally run the harvesters with I would normally try and bear down to how many harvesters you actually need running. Now, you could actually swap this about where you could have 2 running into 1. It does mean you have to make a little bit more room, but you could have 2 harvesters running into... You could have 2 round drills running into 1 harvester. With half the build, and it would be okay. But at the end of the day, I know why you're doing this, because you're fresh to the game. It's all good. And the reason why we're doing this and not putting it onto the actual bedrock is because when you're building... when you're putting in a cycle like this here, this would fire straight onto the conveyor belt. It doesn't have to go anywhere else, and it's completely fine. And that was the reason why you had so much spitting like problems down here. All of this up here, what I'll do is I always do this. I do a little bit of a dry run first to make sure that things are working okay, and we'll get there in just a minute with that. So, need to get down into the pit. And we need to connect all these up. Need that corner pipe. Oh, great. Need your pickaxe, mate. Do you own a pickaxe? You must own a pickaxe. There has to be a pickaxe here somewhere. There's a pickaxe. It's nice to see, even if as a new player, it's nice to see people who are organised. Right, cool. Let me just get out the hole. That's brilliant. Let's get back in the hole. Right. Kuliaks. And then what we're going to do with this is we're just going to power this from the pipe upwards. So that's... We'll take this one. I'm going to stick that there. Got to get out of the hole again. Cool. And we're going to bring this one up to that one there. And then... Right. What we now need to do is we need to bring these 3 pipes up onto one level and wire them straight into here. So I need a straight pipe. There is no straight pipes on this build. There's no straight pipes anywhere. There it is. There's the straight pipe. That's what we need. Right. Right. That should be okay there. Actually, we could have done that. You know what? No, I'm gonna stick with that. We'll be okay. Okay. Need a corner. Awesome. And then what we're going to do is... So in relevant, this is quite an easy building comparison. So this is 100% worth of pressure. That's going to power all of this and just be happy doing it. Like your entire build is just going to work. Now what we need to do is, because these spill water, something that always does get overlooked when it comes to like smaller builds like this, or when you're at the beginning and you're not really sure what's going on, you always forget about corks. Always. Now you can't turn these off because of this. So we're gonna copy this up. We're gonna be okay. Don't worry. Don't worry, Mr. Mannering. I've got a good idea, and we know what we're doing. Right. Now we're gonna be putting your funnels on. All right. Okay, cooliokes. So just before I get into a point of like, you know, yay, we're at victory, what we now need to do is we need to have a look at your build. Is it actually working properly? So the water, oh wow. I'm using mods, that's a plus side. I haven't had to do this for so long. Wow. So under and seat. So now, right, you actually won't need them as much because you've got 5 filters on the line. The filters are literally the only things that are going to break. All you really have to do is just make sure that they're okay. All your belts are working. That's good. That's good. That's good. And that's good. Okay, so something that does happen, and it is a little bit annoying, but at the same time, it's just something that does happen occasionally. Now I'm getting annoyed. Told you not to worry about your battery, didn't I? Okay, so now we've got these. Let's go. Got all here. We still have this. Good. Last one. There we go. Right. So now this should be. This will run at full whack. No major issues, none whatsoever. Let me just pause time because don't need that on. Ram drills are on. They'll fire faster. They won't get stuck. Basically, you had the basic fundamentals down, which was quite good. Just there's certain things you could make a lot more streamlined, and that's what we've done. Everything is now working perfectly and properly. Now, what I will do is, because this is working well enough, I'm going to play this without mods, and I have got a feeling of what will happen. So worst comes to worst, we may have to put another sorter on here, but we'll get there in just a minute. Okay, and we are back. So this is the game running without mods actually playing. Now the one thing that I was afraid of, and it was the one thing that causes it does cause a problem when you're playing this game, is that when you don't have like mods on, occasionally you do run into an issue with certain things not working properly. So this is why I like to check. This is why I like to check builds. I like to make sure they are working and it's all good. This seems to be good. I mean, if dirt did fall through, then we would have a problem. But it seems to be all right now. That does seem to be an issue right there. That might have just been when I turned it over from being on to off. Seems to be running well. I think we're done. The build works good. There's no issues. There's no problems. Everything's working just as it should do. And there's nothing wrong. Now, because we're playing with certain mods, I'll explain this now. Because you've now got 5 filters on the line, these won't break. So when it comes to your tool bags, you'll literally only be repairing your filters. You'll know when one stops going, when that starts sparking, and that's literally about it. That'll be the only thing you'll need to fix. Okay, the rest of this, it's all good, isn't it? I mean, it is working. Bringing that conveyor belt up 1 square so the conveyor belts get fired on straight away from the harvester is all good. Making sure the pipelines are as clear as possible and there's no major issues. Everything else is running perfectly fine. Putting the corks in was a good thing. And then I mean, this is just me being me, but I'd straighten this. I'd be laying the floor out properly. I'd be straightening all this up because I'm a little bit like wonky when it comes to my thought. When it comes to my trail of thought, this all needs to have gone. It needs to be all flat, basically. But yeah, it's all working. It's all good, and there is not a single problem here whatsoever. So if you do want to go underground, you can still, but this will work until they break. And it takes about 40 minutes for filters to break on a build, and then you repair them once and you've got another 40 minutes worth of life. But there doesn't seem to be a major problem anymore. I think the issue you had here may have been the problem that other people have suffered from in the past when it comes to the sorters, but it's all good now. Doesn't seem to be an issue, and everything seems to be working properly. So I'm glad I could help. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button below. You can now join this channel as a member. Pay a couple of quid a month, and literally you basically help this channel keep the PC going buy new games and so on and so forth. If you do want to buy a t-shirt, you can from the merch store in the link below. And I mean, if you do just want to support the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and that's all I mainly ask for. So thank you very much for kicking by. I'll see you all in another video. Peace out, have fun, and enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye for now.